The electric car is here.
And here it is, the General Motors EV1 electric, or as they say in California, the Volkswagen. This is the car that the oil companies and other car makers have tried to stop. It's cost GM near on $500 million and is state-of-the-art technology. So what we're going to do is we're going to take old Sparky here out into the cut and thrust of LA streets and see just how long those batteries last. So if you don't ever hear from me again, bye-bye.
You ready? Are you ready? Welcome to tomorrow. Welcome to tomorrow. Welcome to tomorrow. Welcome to tomorrow.
26 lead-acid batteries give this aluminium, magnesium and fiberglass hybrid 137 brake horsepower. But one of the great myths about electric cars is that they're silent. The EV1 sounds like a cross between a food mixer and a hairdryer. To its credit, it is incredibly easy to drive and very car-like. It'll accelerate to 60 in about 8 seconds, and they have actually had ungoverned ones of these doing 180 miles an hour on the Bonneville Salt Flats. This is governed because it's California, law-obsessed, to 80 miles an hour. But it was quick enough to give a dozy Swede in a Volvo T5 the absolute fright of his life. Go, baby, go. The first cars are in showrooms now, being leased for a hefty $600 a month. Baywatch stars and Disney executives may think the EV1 is a hoot, but what about Main Street America? Do Californians really care enough about the environment to leave their Cadillacs at home? Maneuvering to the absurd refrain of my reversing bleeper, I decided to find out.
I think right now the price might be a little steep, but I think everybody should drive that, especially for just commuting around the city.
We get a lot of the smog and everything, and seeing driving one of these, it would help a lot here in California.
Did you see yourself drawing up outside the doors of the Viper rooms in this? Yeah.
I imagine myself, I'm driving this car.
A couple more years, it'll probably be fashionable. A lot of people will probably have them.
The general consensus around here is that if we could make a trip from LA to Vegas and have a 10-minute recharge, the Californians will buy it. But this terrible paranoia about the battery life is a real head deal. You can try and create a bit more energy by doing what's known as a coast-down. You press this button if you're approaching a traffic light, and what's known as a regen brakes cut in, and they create a little bit of electricity to give you another 100 foot or so. And boy, am I going to need it. The inside temperature must be 1,000,000 degrees. I could kill for my air conditioning, but I have but 20 miles left. It's 20 miles back to the garage, and I know I'm going to run out of juice. I'm going to run out of juice in my EV1, and the gangs in Los Angeles will get me and cut me up into little pieces. The dream had turned into a nightmare. By giving it some beans, I'd made the battery display plummet like the floor indicator in a lift. Nursing it through the mean streets of downtown LA, I stroked that accelerator pedal like it was made of glass. For those anally retentive enough to want to know, the EV1 weighs 3,000 pounds. Most of that is battery. It has the aerodynamics of a fighter jet with the landing gear down, literally. And its practical range, even though GM is saying it's 90, is actually about 40 to 50 miles, depending how you drive. There's one guy apparently who bought a Polaroid snap into a dealership to show that he'd actually achieved 101 miles on a full charge. I'm not so lucky. Please don't run out, please. That was probably the most stressful drive of my life, but I made it with but 4 miles to spare, and the axe murderers didn't get me. So what do I think? Well, it's actually very quiet, very refined, very quick, and very drivable. In essence, a jolly good little car. But The batteries suck, the range is appalling, and if you had to buy one, it would cost you a whopping £35,000. But let me leave you with this thought. 10 years ago, mobile phones were the size of suitcases and cost £2,000. Today, they're the size of calculators, and they're giving them away. Make no mistake, the days of the internal combustion engine are definitely numbered.